Hey guys, Penny here from Monaco Nail Academy, and this is Money Back Guarantee, which is a series of videos designed to give you ideas for how to use your least used products. So feel free to put a comment and let me know products that you have sitting at home or in your salon studio that you haven't used much, and I will do my best to create a video for them, giving you some ideas on how to do so. So today my friend and colleague Erin has given me the challenge of making money from the bright Be Creative pigments. I actually find that these are really popular with my clients, but Erin has said that some of her clients find that they're too bright or too in your face, and yeah, she's not using them that often. So that's what we're going to do today. You can see mine are very well loved, and because there are quite a few colors, I thought what I would do is take this challenge one step further and really focus on using the orange, because I might be totally wrong. This might be guesswork, but to me the orange would be the least likely used color out of all of the Be Creative bright pigments. So we're going to use orange in all of the designs that we do today. So for the very first one, it's nice and easy. We're going to do a butterfly wing, and for that I'm going to use Artistic Color Gloss in Wild to do my base layer. So we're going to do, if you're on a real person, you would still of course do your base coat and all of that sort of thing, but I'm going straight onto the wheel because that's all I need to do, and then curing this for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds we're on to another layer. I do want a nice solid base for this artwork, just so that we don't get any shadowing under the pigments. So 2 layers of Artistic Color Gloss in Wild, both cured for 30 seconds each. Now I do have several of the Be Creative bright pigments laid out. I've got Sunshine, the orange is called Ice Pops, and I've got Bikini. But this butterfly wing you could absolutely do with just one color if you wanted to. So what I'm going to do is start with the yellow, which is Sunshine, dip in, tap off the excess, start not quite all the way at the edge, and just bring it down on a diagonal over the nail. I'm then going to get the orange, Ice Pops, again tap off the excess into the lid. Don't start at the edge of the yellow, start smack bang in the middle with the majority of your product, and then blend it back into the yellow, and away as well. Don't worry about the edges, they're not going to be seen in the end. Then we're going to go to the pink, and I haven't cleaned my brush or done anything in between. I'm going to go into Bikini, tap off the excess, and again start on this edge. I do want Bikini to just touch the free edge there. That's the one spot where it's not going to get covered up. And then take it back into the orange. And you can make it a super smooth blend, or you can make it a bit more mottled. Mine is a bit more mottled, but you could add in more very easily. And I don't even really have to clean my brush. I can just go in with the yellow, back over the orange. Basically just repeat my steps. Into the middle and back into the yellow, into the pink, making orange the feature since that's the challenge, and into the pink. Alright, so that's the first bit done, and I'm going to just brush off excess with that very same brush. There's not very much because I haven't been using very much. Pigments go really, really far. I'm going to put the lids on these for now just to keep from spilling them because I'm a very spilly person. Alright, so then the next step you can do with gel paint, you can do it with gel polish, you can do it with acrylic paint, totally up to you. I'm going to do it with acrylic paint for the majority and gel polish second. So I like working with acrylic paint because it is one stroke, similar to gel paint, but it's much more thin and easy to work with, similar to gel polish. So for me, it's the best of both worlds. So I've just got my black, and I've got my Be Creative orange brush, which is not customized. It's just old. So it's lost a few bristles along the way. And what I'm going to do with my acrylic paint, load up the brush, and then starting in one corner and going outwards, I'm going to do some diagonal lines in sort of like a ray, so they start close together and they end up far apart. You'll see what I mean. So we're going to start here, and then so see they get further apart. And lucky last. I want to thicken up the second to last one a little bit, so I'm just going to come back the other way, and don't worry too much about the lines or the edges of the lines at either end. Now I'm going to come in with quite a bit of paint on my brush and curve the end of each section. So just like this. She says easily, having done it a million times, and I know that it's not always going to be so easy to just do it straight off the bat. I'm going to put in this last one. One thing I really like about designs like this is see where I didn't really do like a perfect job on the edge. It doesn't matter, we're going to hide it. Gone. So then fill in a lot of this with our nice one stroke black, but don't go all the way to the edges. We want there to be gel at the edge because it's much better at sticking. But I like using acrylic paint for this bit because I only have to do it once. So I kind of get a messy edge in there. Then I'm going to grab Colour Gloss Swag. And on a person, I would have to do this with a detail brush, but because I'm on a wheel, there's no skin in the way, so. And we're just filling in right to the very edge with gel polish. So that bit, like I said before, will stay as is, but this edge we're going to seal with the black gel as well. And some of that you might find needs a second coat. I'm just going to cure it for now and then we will inspect. I'm pretty happy with how the back looks, or the top. It'll look nice with top coat. The inner corner just needs a little bit more, so we'll put a little bit extra on that corner. To finish off the design before we top coat, I'm going to take my stylus tool and some Colour Gloss in Bride, which is just the bright white, and add in some Monaco butterfly dots. That will also cure for 30 seconds and then we will top coat. Now, of course, one of the reasons that Erin is struggling to use the bright pigments on her clients is because they are saying that they're a bit out there So maybe a butterfly isn't the most in there thing that she could choose to offer them, but a way of making this a little bit more subdued for clients that aren't 100% sold on the idea of nail art would be to just use the fade. So paint the yellow background, use the orange for a golden fade, or paint pink and use the orange to fade into the pink. Start with the ombre and then build your clients up to doing something more like the butterfly wing. Something a little more, I suppose, gateway. It's a little more subdued, a little more for the clients that aren't 100% certain, would be some watercolor. So I'm going to use the same colors because that's sort of the challenge that I've set myself here. And I'm using a base of Color Gloss in Bride. So I'm going to do 2 coats and cure each one for 30 seconds, and then we will watercolor using the yellow and the orange, or maybe the orange and the pink, we'll see. Alright, so this one is super quick and easy. We've done our white background. I've got a tiny bit of monomer and my wipe, and then I've got the orange and the pink here, so Ice Pops and Bikini. All I'm going to do is dip my brush into the monomer with just a tiny bit, just damp, and then into the pigment for just the tiniest amount, and then straight onto the nail. And once it's in a rough shape, grab some more monomer, a lot wetter, and just blot it around. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of pink too. The wetter that you make it at this stage, the more sort of marbly it will be. You can make it really, really subtle if you use very little pigment and a lot of monomer. Or you can fade it out at the edge. You can see the difference between having a really high pigment, low monomer ratio versus just the subtle marble on the edge there. But this is really fun. And again, if your clients are straying away from things like the bright pigments because they are a little bit scared, then try just using something like the orange to marble the corner of a pink nail, like or a little bit of pink marbling on a baby pink nail. Just try and put in a little touch of color on a feature nail to get them into using it. Once this is dry, in just a few seconds, we will top coat and it'll all come together and look really pretty. To be honest, even in real time without me, I don't want to cut. I want you to see that this is literally in real time, how quickly it dries. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's all good to go. So it really didn't take very long to dry. Alright, the lucky last example is also going to go on a white background, but it could definitely be adapted to lots of scenarios. So I'm going to do my coat of Bride and cure for 30 seconds. We're going to use the monomer again, but for something quite different. So I'm going back to, I've been using sometimes a brand new brush and sometimes the exact same brush, but old. Going back to the old one, and I need my lids at the ready. So I'm going to take some of Ice Pops and build a very rough bottom of a heart, is what it is. And then some of Bikini for the top of the heart, and just blend those together in the middle. And then I'm going to top up just a tiny drop of monomer, get my nice new well looked after brush, and just damp, and we're going to carve in the heart shape and clean it up. Now you could absolutely outline this. I've done this exact same technique to do graffiti style lettering as well, but if we're talking about clients who are afraid to take the plunge, then this is a really pretty way to add in some subtle nail art, but you're still getting a cool color shift between the orange and the pink. You're still getting, it's fun for us to do, and it's going to get clients wanting more nail art, hopefully, especially if you can go for the slightly more subtle routes. And with this one, as long as you've done a nice clean job, you can absolutely just top coat straight away, and the lines should stay perfectly clean. So if you have put too much pigment on, like I'm really using almost nothing and I'm working it into the gel polish underneath, if you have excess, it will smudge, but if you've worked it in the way that I did, you'll be totally fine. So all I need to do with this is cure the top coat and it's all done. So those are a few different ways for you to use the Be Creative bright pigments, and in particular Ice Pops and Bikini, which I do use Bikini quite a lot, but I'm gonna guess that Ice Pops might be the least popular. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I really love them, but if you could click like on this video wherever you're looking at it, that would be super helpful for me, and tell me what other things you have in your kit that you're struggling to use and make money from, and I will use them for a future money back guarantee video for you. Alrighty, see you later.